Dr. Abdul Moyeen Khan, congratulations on your victory after a really long time.
Thank you very
You've
much.
held important positions in the past as well, and now after a lot of years, you're coming back to form something new for Bangladesh. So how will this time be different from not only the last 20 years, but also from the time before?
This is going to be a big challenge. That's what I apprehend. In the past, of course, we had been in the government and we tried to uh, promote democracy and development both in Bangladesh. However, you have seen and you are fully aware what happened during the intervening period of 16 years from 2009 to 2024. The one-party system in Bangladesh was reintroduced in a different form. And then, of course, all the basic fundamental rights of people were taken away, including the voting rights and the right to speak. So under these circumstances, this was a big challenge for the people of Bangladesh. But you know that in 2024, there's a student people uprising, which forced the autocratic government to quit Bangladesh and flee to our neighboring country. And since then, an interim government took over, who have carried out a series of reform programs, which were put on test in the referendum. And at the same time, we had a free and fair election just a few days ago on the 12th of February. With the support of the people and by the grace of Allah, we have won.
One question that a lot of international media is raising is, of course, you mentioned the students and the young voters who made this election possible. And so how inclusive will this government be of them, and what does this next era mean for the young people of Bangladesh?
You see, some people may have thought that the younger people may vote differently, but I'm glad to tell you that the younger people of Bangladesh had put their confidence in the Bangladesh Nationalist Party and our concept of Bangladeshi nationalism. That's how we have won in more than 2/3 of the 300 seats in the parliament. So this is reassuring for us. At the same time, this is a great indication of support for the nationalist force in Bangladesh. We believe that the future challenge will come to us. Yes, there are always challenges, and we are always prepared to face that challenge.
In the past BNP governments, and you probably know this better than I do, that there have been better relations with Pakistan, which the last few years, of course, under Sheikh Hasina's government, withered. So with this new era, especially under the interim government, there were lots of new trade deals happening, and there's an education initiative that came about as well. So should we expect all of this to continue?
Of course, normal relations will continue. Let me spell out. In Bangladesh, our foreign policy is based on the concept of friendship with all countries of the world. So that's what BNP followed in the past, and that's what BNP will follow in future. So we want to behave in a friendly manner with each and every country in the world. And for Pakistan, of course, we have had a historical connection, as you know. So we did have a historical connection with India prior to 1947. So these are parts of history. We respect history and the bonds, historical bonds and the cultural bonds and our bonds of being together for 24 years since 47 to 1971. All this, I believe, shape up the future. I have that trust that our past relationship will shape the future relationship between Bangladesh and Pakistan.
During the interim government, there's a lot more trade happening between Pakistan and Bangladesh. Then, of course, there's a student exchange program, and then the direct flight that resumed. What more do you think Pakistan and Bangladesh can expect, especially because we spoke to a lot of people here who also want to visit their family members in Pakistan as well?
I think in modern times, you have to consider the fact that diplomatic relation is also shaped up by trade and commerce. You know that some countries in the world, some big big countries in the world, they have renamed their foreign ministry as Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade. So I think that is the future trend. And I somehow believe that the relationship between Pakistan and Bangladesh in future will also be determined not only by diplomacy but also by economic factors.
Great. And there's this cabinet is going to be a very interesting mix of old and new, and a lot of majority of lawmakers who are going to be members of the parliament for the first time. So what should the world expect?
I don't know about the nature of the parliament because there are so much speculations in the newspapers, and you have seen that for yourself. But all I can tell you is we will certainly have a government which will represent our people, young people, experienced people, and I think this will be a good combination so that the country can move forward for the welfare of the people of Bangladesh.
Right. And since we were talking about trade, I would like to also bring up SAARC. That has been a topic of conversation since the last few days, and especially as Dr. Muhammad Yunus tried to revive it as well. What significance does SAARC hold for your government?
SAARC is of extreme significance to this region. That's how I look at it. SAARC was created in the first place by the founder president of BNP, Ziaur Rahman, and this was a novel idea. And I do believe that at a time when SAARC was proposed by Ziaur Rahman, he was in fact ahead of time. Unfortunately, some countries in the region did not understand, I'm sorry to say, did not understand the significance and the importance of this sub-regional cooperation. European Union has a long history of regional cooperation with the European Union. And prior to European Union, you know about EC. Initially, they started basically with an economic cooperation, which finally had taken shape in EU. Now, EU even has a parliament. So the parliament, which is a manifestation of the political process, is not quite independent of the economic scenario in the region. For us in the South Asia region, I believe SAARC also has a dual purpose. One is the political unity, the other is the economic unity. You must bear in mind that from the economic point of view, the Asian region or South Asian region are not quite at par with Europe and America. This is a hard reality we must accept. So the question is, if you need to compete with them, do you compete individually or you compete in a group? As simple as that. You see, the South Asian region is a bit unusual in the sense that there is one country which is geographically of big size and in terms of population is of big size, and other ones are comparatively smaller. Now, the question is, if one big country wants to dominate, they can try to dominate, but they have not been able to do it successfully in the club of the world, I must say. Even in the UN, they have tried for years to become a permanent member of the UN, but they have not been able to achieve that. So under these circumstances, I strongly feel that South Asia must be pushed as a region. And it not only helps the smaller countries, I believe, it will also help the big country in this region and will make it give it more handles, and it will make it more influential in that sense. So if we can work together, as I say, politically, we can make a position in the world forum, for instance, anywhere. I mean, in the UN or in some other place. If we speak together, South Asia can make a bigger impact than each of our individual countries speaking there. So this is one thing. And economically also, I think, if we work together, we can compete better with the rich countries. We sometimes try to call us middle-income country and so on and so forth. But basically, if you compare with Europe and America, we are still poor and economically weak. But nonetheless, you have seen how Bangladesh by itself has become a powerful country in terms of the trade in in the sector of garments. We are one of the leading exporters of garments to the United States and European Union. But if we can work together economically, I think this region can have bigger impact in the whole world.
You mentioned challenges, particularly from certain countries in the region and their competition to dominate the region as well. How do you think other countries in this particular region need to come together to deal with that and make SAARC a success?
Let me use the term and say, the SAARC is a forum where a big country can dilute itself into the smaller countries. This is an advantage. Now, the question is how you look at it. If you look at the opportunity of being in SAARC as an advantage, that's one thing. If you look at SAARC from the viewpoint that you want to dominate over the smaller countries, that's a different approach. I believe in the modern day world, we must all work together. And that's how we can take forward the cause of the humanity in future.
We were here and we visited a lot of polling stations and we witnessed ourselves that it was in fact a very peaceful election.
Yeah.
But there are certain questions being raised by certain media outlets, especially from the Indian side, that has been raising a lot of questions from the beginning. Do you think such speculations will be a challenge for your government, or you're prepared to take those head on?
You see, it has already been proved in this election on the 12th of February that the people have voted for us, which means that the policies and the programs we put forward in front of them, they have accepted. Otherwise, they wouldn't have voted for us. You have seen for yourself, this has been an absolutely free and fair election. And in the process, they have supported BNP overwhelmingly. We have more than 200 seats in the parliament of 300. So it means that we have 2/3 majority in the parliament. And this is a clear indication of the people's support for us. So we have that strength behind us, the people's strength. And that's what democracy is all about.
And how important is it for you to also work in cooperation with the other parties who were contesting for the first time?
We already, you listen to our leader, Mr. Tariq Rahman, and he already spelled out that BNP does not believe in the concept of retaliation or any other vengeance. We want to work together with everyone, and we believe in peace and friendship, and we believe in rule of law. So whatever the criticism, the people are the best judges, and they make their judgment on the 12th.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.